The Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has threatened to sanction travelers who refuse to present themselves for a mandatory in-country polymerase chain reaction test. The chairman of the PTF and secretary to the government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, made the disclosure in a media briefing in Abuja.
Having observed serious non-compliance to the level of 65%, the need has arisen to activate the sanctions, which includes the suspension of the passports of such defaulting individuals for a period of 6 months minimum. The next week or two remain critical because that is when we are expecting to see if those events were super spreaders. The PTF has noted with sadness the failure of Nigerians who arrive from abroad to present themselves for the in-country PCR tests, which they signed up to and paid before arrival. Statistics emerging from our records show that only 1 out of 3 passengers have shown up for the in-country test. 1 out of 3 passengers. That's a dismal number, and it ought not to be so. As you may recall, the PTF announced the guidelines on the reopening of the airspace and the obligations of arriving passengers. I acknowledge and thank all our traditional rulers for their support and urge them to continue to do more, especially in the areas of risk communication and community engagement. Adherence to the non-pharmaceutical intervention measures and the need for people to come out for testing were also emphasized. Finally, I wish to inform you that the Presidential Task Force has revised its meeting and briefing frequency to once a week to allow members carry out other functions and activities. However, this does not preclude the need to call for emergency meetings and briefings when the need arises. With effect from Thursday, 5th November 2020, therefore, the national briefing would only hold once weekly.